Did you know that in Iceland, summer can bring 24 hours of sunlight while winter has no daylight at all? It's absolutely bonkers. One minute you're having a midnight picnic, the next you're wondering if the sun has packed its bags and moved to Spain for good. It's a magical country, where volcanoes, glaciers, and the unimaginable exist side by side. Honestly, it sounds like the setting for a rather dramatic fantasy film, doesn't it? Fire and ice, constantly bickering like an old married couple. It's a place where the scenery is so ridiculously stunning, you'll spend half your time just picking your jaw up off the floor. And the people? Well, they're just as extraordinary. You might even bump into the president relaxing in a public hot spring. Can you imagine that happening anywhere else? Just casually discussing politics while you're both turning into prunes. It's wonderfully, brilliantly Icelandic, and when it comes to romance, oh, they take it to another level. Icelanders are incredibly bold when it comes to love. They even have an app to check family ties just to avoid dating a relative. It's a bit like a high-tech version of asking, "So, do I know your mother?" Utterly practical, and saves a lot of awkward conversations down the line, I imagine. But that, my friends, is just a tiny little taste of what this incredible island has to offer. It's a place that constantly surprises you, a land of myths, legends, and frankly, some of the most sensible dating precautions I've ever heard of, and that's just the beginning. Want to discover more jaw-dropping facts? Join us as we explore 15 amazing truths about Iceland in today's travel documentary. Stick around, it's going to be a wild ride. Right then, let's get our bearings. When you hear the name Iceland, you probably picture, well, a lot of ice. And you're not entirely wrong, but it's so much more complicated and fascinating than that. It's this colossal volcanic island just chilling out in the North Atlantic, practically neighbors with the Arctic Circle. This prime real estate gives it a climate that's, shall we say, a bit of a drama queen. One of the most mind-bending things is the light. In summer, the sun just refuses to go to bed. You get 24 hours of daylight, which is fabulous for sightseeing but an absolute nightmare if you've forgotten your blackout curtains. It's called the midnight sun, and it messes with your head in the most wonderful way. Then, as if to make up for all that over time, the sun takes a very long holiday in winter. From about mid-November to late January, you're living in a perpetual twilight, with only a few hours of very shy daylight. It's called the polar night, and it sounds a bit grim, doesn't it? But Icelanders, being the clever people they are, have turned it into something magical. It's the perfect backdrop for cozy nights in, telling stories, and, of course, hunting for the northern lights. But we'll get to that celestial disco later. It's a land of extreme contrasts, where nature is always, always the star of the show. Now, for a country that's roughly the size of Kentucky, you'd think it would be teeming with people. But no, there are only about 370,000 Icelanders in total. That's fewer people than live in Wichita, Kansas. Most of them huddle together around the capital, Reykjavik, leaving vast swathes of the country completely wild and untouched. This emptiness is part of its charm. You can drive for hours and see nothing but moss-covered lava fields, towering mountains, and dramatic coastlines. It makes you feel incredibly small in the best possible way. This unique combination of fire, ice, and a tiny population has forged a nation of people who are resilient, creative, and deeply connected to their environment. They have to be. Living on an active volcano that's also covered in glaciers requires a certain sense of humor and a whole lot of respect for Mother Nature. They've learned not just to survive here but to thrive, creating a culture that is as unique and breathtaking as the landscape itself. It's a testament to the human spirit, really, and it all starts with this wild, unpredictable, and utterly beautiful land. Now when I say beach, you're probably thinking of golden sands, palm trees, maybe a little cocktail with an umbrella in it. Well, throw that image out the window because we're going to Reynisfjara. This isn't your typical sunbathing spot. For starters, the sand is jet black. It's volcanic, you see, ground down over millennia into this incredibly dramatic, almost gothic landscape. It feels like you've stepped onto another planet, or perhaps the set of a very moody music video. The contrast of the white foam from the crashing waves against the black sand is just breathtaking. It's a photographer's dream, really. And it's not just the sand that's spectacular. Towering over the beach are these magnificent basalt columns called Reynisdrangar. They They look like a giant, slightly haphazardly built church organ rising straight out of the sea. Icelandic legend, of course, has a much better story. They say these columns are two trolls who were trying to drag a ship to shore, but they were caught by the rising sun and turned to stone. You've got to love a country with such good stories. It makes the whole place feel even more enchanted, doesn't it? But here's a little tip if you visit Dindanch. Don't get too close to the water. The waves here are famously unpredictable and powerful. They're called sneaker waves because they can appear out of nowhere and sweep you off your feet. It's a stark reminder that even in its beauty, Icelandic nature demands respect. This brings me to another lovely thing about Icelanders: their respect for personal space. In a country with so much wide open land, they're not fans of crowding. You'll notice it everywhere, from queues to conversations. They give you room to breathe, both literally and figuratively. So, at Reynisfjara, you'll find people scattered along the vast expanse of black sand, each in their own little world, just taking it all in. There's no jostling for the best photo spot, no loud tour groups, just the roar of the Atlantic, the call of the puffins nesting in the cliffs, and the quiet awe of people witnessing something truly extraordinary. It's a beach that's not for swimming or sunning, but for contemplating the raw, untamed power of the planet. And frankly, it's more beautiful than any tropical paradise I've ever seen. Let's talk about the women of Iceland. Now, I don't want to generalize, but my goodness, there's something truly special going on here. It's like the spirit of the old Norse goddesses never really left. You'll find this incredible combination of striking beauty, fierce independence, and a completely no-nonsense attitude. They have a strength that seems to come from the very land itself. Resilient, powerful, and utterly captivating. It's no wonder they consistently rank among the most beautiful women in the world. But it's their spirit that truly stands out. This isn't a place where women have had to fight for equality in recent memory. It feels like it's just baked into the culture. Iceland has been a trailblazer for women's rights for decades. They were the first country to democratically elect a female president, Vigdis Finnbogadóttir, way back in 1980. This progressive mindset permeates every aspect of society. Women are leaders in business, politics, and the arts. There's an assumption of competence and strength that is just so refreshing. They're not trying to be like men, they're just being powerful in their own right. And this independence extends to their personal lives, especially when it comes to love and dating. Icelandic women are known for being direct and honest. There are no games, no coyness. If they're interested, you'll know. If they're not, you'll also know, very clearly. It's a wonderfully straightforward approach that cuts through all the usual nonsense. And because the dating pool is, let's face it, quite small, they've come up with a brilliantly pragmatic solution to a potentially awkward problem. They have an app. It's called Islendinga app, and it's linked to a vast genealogical database. Before things get too serious, a couple can just, bump their phones together and the app will tell them if they're too closely related. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi comedy, but it's real. Incest spoiler is its charming nickname. It's a perfect example of Icelandic ingenuity, a modern, tech-savvy solution to an age-old problem. It's bold, it's practical, and it's just a little bit hilarious. Honestly, only in Iceland. If there's one thing that unites every single person in Iceland, it's the hot tub, or, as they call it, the heitur potter. It's not a luxury here, it's a fundamental part of daily life, as essential as coffee in the morning or a roof over your head. Every town, no matter how tiny, has a public swimming pool with at least a couple of geothermally heated hot tubs. It's the national living room, the community hub, the place where all the gossip is shared and all the world's problems are solved. It's absolutely brilliant. You see, because of all that volcanic activity bubbling away under the surface, Iceland has an endless supply of natural hot water. They've harnessed this gift to create a culture of communal bathing that's been going on for centuries. After a long day, people don't go to the pub, they go to the pool. They soak in the lovely warm water, stare up at the sky, which might be bright with the midnight sun or dark and filled with stars, and they just talk. It's a deeply social ritual, and when I say everyone goes, I mean everyone. You'll find fishermen, students, artists, and business people all stewing together in the same pot. And yes, as we mentioned, you might even find yourself sharing the water with the president of Iceland. There's a wonderful lack of hierarchy in the hot tub. everyone is just a semi-naked person enjoying the heat. It breaks down social barriers in a way that nothing else can. You get the real news, the local scoop, and a genuine sense of community. It's also where you learn the rules of Icelandic society. There's a strict etiquette, you see. You must shower, completely naked, before you get in. There are signs and sometimes even a little warden to make sure you do. It's about hygiene and respect for the shared space. Once you're in though, it's pure relaxation. It's a tradition that strengthens community bonds, soothes weary muscles, and connects Icelanders to the incredible natural energy of their homeland. It's more than just a bath, it's the warm, beating heart of Iceland. In a country that already feels like it's at the edge of the world, Icelanders have mastered the art of getting even further away from it all. There's a deep-seated tradition here of having a sumarbustadur, a summer cabin. These are not fancy, luxurious holiday homes. More often than not, they are simple, remote wooden cabins, tucked away in a secluded valley, by a quiet fjord, or in the middle of a sprawling lava field. The whole point is to escape, to disconnect from the hustle and bustle of modern life, and reconnect with nature. This desire for solitude and simplicity is woven into the Icelandic soul. You can trace it right back to their Viking roots. The original settlers were fiercely independent people who valued their freedom and their own patch of land. They were explorers and farmers who lived in harmony with the harsh but beautiful environment. This legacy lives on in the summer cabin culture. It's a way of life that prioritizes peace, quiet, and the simple pleasures of being in the wild. Life at the cabin is slow. It's about waking up to the sound of birds instead of an alarm clock. It's about spending the day hiking, fishing in a nearby river, or just sitting on the porch with a book and a cup of coffee, watching the weather roll in over the mountains. There's often no Wi-Fi, and phone signal can be patchy at best. And that's the whole point. It forces you to be present, to engage with your surroundings and the people you're with. It's a digital detox prescribed by an entire nation. This slow-living lifestyle isn't just for holidays either. It influences the general pace of life in Iceland. There's less of a rush, a greater appreciation for work-life balance, and a focus on community and family. The summer cabin is the physical embodiment of this philosophy. It's a sanctuary, a place to recharge the spirit and remember what's truly important. It's a reminder that in a world that's constantly demanding our attention, sometimes the most luxurious thing you can have is a little bit of beautiful, uninterrupted nothing. Now this is where things get a bit science fiction. Iceland, this tiny, isolated nation, is home to one of the most important and ambitious genetic research projects on the planet. A company called Decode Genetics, founded back in 1996, set out to do something extraordinary, to map the entire genome of the Icelandic population. And because the population is so small and has been relatively isolated for centuries, it's a geneticist's dream come true. It's like having a perfectly preserved laboratory for studying human heredity. So, how did they do it? They simply asked. The project was entirely voluntary, but an astonishing number of Icelanders signed up to donate their DNA and health records for the good of science. It speaks volumes about their trust in the community and their forward-thinking nature. This created a massive, anonymous database, a genetic bank that is unparalleled anywhere in the world. By combining this genetic information with Iceland's extensive genealogical records, which in some cases go back 1,000 years, scientists can do some truly amazing things. They can trace the flow of specific genes through generations and see how they correlate with certain diseases. This has led to groundbreaking discoveries in understanding the genetic risks for conditions like Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, and many types of cancer. It's not just about finding risks either. They've also discovered protective genes that help some people resist these diseases. The work being done in Reykjavik is advancing medicine for all of humanity. It's incredible to think that the secrets to curing diseases could be hidden in the blood of Viking descendants. This project also helps to preserve and understand the unique heritage of the Icelandic people. The data confirms their history, a mix of Norse Viking men and Gaelic women mostly from Ireland and Scotland. It's a living, breathing history book written in DNA. So, while the incest spoiler app is a funny side effect, the real legacy of Iceland's genetic bank is its profound contribution to science. It's a testament to how a small, united nation can have a massive impact on the world, all by looking inward at what makes them unique. Have you ever secretly wished you could just throw on a horned helmet, which by the way, they didn't actually wear, but let's not ruin the fun. and live like a Viking for a day? Well, in Iceland, you can. Tucked away near the town of Hofen, there's a recreated Viking village that looks like it's been plucked straight from the 10th century. It wasn't built as a tourist attraction initially. It was actually built as a film set for a movie that, rather amusingly, was never filmed there. But their losses are gain, because now it stands as a wonderfully atmospheric and slightly surreal place to visit. Walking into this village feels like stepping through a time portal. Everything is crafted with incredible attention to detail, from the turf-roofed longhouses to the wooden fences and the imposing chieftain's hall. You can wander through the narrow, muddy paths and almost hear the echoes of blacksmiths hammering and warriors telling tales of their latest raid. It's a tangible link to the country's wild and adventurous past. You can just feel the history in the air, thick and smelling faintly of wood smoke and damp earth. But it's not just a static museum piece. The village comes alive with festivals and events where enthusiasts and historical reenactors gather to truly live the Viking life. They dress in authentic clothing, practice ancient crafts like weaving and leatherworking, and even stage mock battles. It's an immersive experience that goes far beyond just looking at artifacts behind glass. You can learn to throw an axe, watch a blacksmith forge a blade, and listen to sagas being told around a roaring fire. It's history made thrillingly, viscerally real. This dedication to keeping the Viking spirit alive is a huge part of Icelandic identity. They are immensely proud of their heritage, of the sagas that tell the stories of their ancestors, and of the grit and determination it took to settle this rugged land. The Viking village is a celebration of that spirit. It's a place where children and adults alike can connect with their roots, learn about the skills and struggles of the past, and have a rollicking good time doing it. It's a bit silly, a bit educational, and a whole lot of fun. Reykjavik, it's the world's most northerly capital city, and it is an absolute gem. Forget what you might imagine about a city so close to the Arctic Circle being grim or gray. Reykjavik is a riot of color and creativity. Many of the houses are clad in brightly painted, corrugated iron, a practical solution to the harsh weather that has turned into a cheerful design statement. The streets are clean, walkable, and filled with the most incredible street art. It feels less like a bustling metropolis, and more like a quirky, overgrown village where everyone knows each other. The heart of the city beats in its downtown area, around streets like Logavagur. Here you'll find a delightful jumble of independent boutiques, bookshops, and record stores. Iceland has one of the highest rates of writers per capita in the world, and you can feel that love for stories and music everywhere. And the cafes. The cafe culture is huge, because the weather can be, let's say, changeable. Icelanders have perfected the art of the cozy or cozy. They'll gather in warm, inviting cafes for hours, drinking excellent coffee, eating pastries, and just chatting. It's the indoor version of the hot tub. Despite its small size, Reykjavik has a surprisingly vibrant nightlife. On weekend nights, the quiet streets transform as locals head out. It starts late and goes on until the early hours. There's a brilliant energy to it all. Friendly, unpretentious, and fueled by a genuine love of music and good company. And during the summer, with 24-hour daylight, the party literally never stops because the sun never sets. It's a surreal and unforgettable experience to walk out of a bar at 3 a.m. into bright sunshine. But the best thing about Reykjavik is the people. It's a city built on a strong sense of community. It's incredibly safe, friendly, and welcoming. People are relaxed. They trust each other. It's not uncommon to see babies in prams left sleeping outside a cafe while their parents are inside. It's a level of social trust that's hard to find anywhere else. Life in Reykjavik is a beautiful balance of cosmopolitan culture and small-town charm, all set against a backdrop of breathtaking natural beauty. It's a city with a huge heart. Imagine playing a round of golf at midnight, not under floodlights but in broad natural daylight, or going for a hike at 2 a.m. with the sun still hanging in the sky, casting a magical golden glow over everything. This is not a dream. This is summer in Iceland. The phenomenon of the midnight sun from late May to late July completely transforms the country and opens up a whole new world of possibilities for adventure. The day never ends, so why should the fun? This constant daylight gives you an incredible sense of freedom and energy. Your body clock gets wonderfully confused, and you find yourself wanting to do things at the most unusual hours. Icelanders embrace this fully. It's the time for road trips, for camping, for making the most of every single sun-drenched, or at least light-filled moment. Popular tourist spots that are crowded during the day become serene and otherworldly in the middle of the night. Visiting a waterfall, like Selja Landsfoss, at 1 a.m., with hardly anyone else around, is a truly spiritual experience. The activities on offer are endless. You can go whale watching in the wee hours, when the low sun glints off the water, and the whales breach against a pastel-colored sky. You can explore the dramatic landscapes on horseback, with the Icelandic horses seeming to have as much energy as you do. There are music festivals that run through the night, and marathons where runners cross the finish line as the sun begins to climb higher in the sky, even though it never really set. It's a season of pure magic. The light is different, softer, and more golden than the harsh light of midday. It makes the already stunning landscapes look even more ethereal and beautiful. It's a photographer's paradise, a period where the golden hour lasts for, well, hours. Experiencing the midnight sun is more than just a novelty. It's a chance to see Iceland in a different light, quite literally. It's a time of celebration, of boundless energy, and of making memories at hours you'd normally be fast asleep. If summer in Iceland is all about the endless sun, then winter offers a reward that is, if possible, even more spectacular: the aurora borealis, or the northern lights. After the long, bright days of summer, the darkness returns, and with it comes the chance to witness the greatest light show on Earth. From September to mid-April, when the nights are long and dark, Iceland becomes one of the best places in the world to see this celestial ballet. It's an experience that is on so many people's bucket lists, and for very good reason. Trying to describe the northern lights to someone who hasn't seen them is almost impossible. It's not just a static picture in the sky, it's a dynamic, dancing curtain of light. Ethereal greens, pinks, and purples ripple and swirl across the heavens as if a divine artist is painting with light. Sometimes it's a gentle, hazy glow, and other times it's a vibrant, fast-moving river of color that seems to be just within reach. It's completely silent, which somehow makes it even more powerful and awe-inspiring. Of course, seeing them is not guaranteed. The aurora is a natural phenomenon, caused by charged particles from the sun colliding with atoms in the Earth's atmosphere. You need a few things to line up perfectly clear skies, a high level of solar activity, and you need to be away from the light pollution of the city. This is why organized Northern Lights tours are so popular. The guides are experts at reading the forecasts and hunting for the best viewing spots, taking you out into the dark, silent wilderness. When you finally see them, it is a moment of pure, unadulterated wonder. It makes you feel incredibly small and connected to the vastness of the universe all at once. You stand there, wrapped up against the cold, with your head tilted back, and you just watch, mesmerized. It's a deeply moving, almost primal experience. It's nature's magic at its most potent, a reminder that even in the deepest, darkest winter, there is incredible beauty and light to be found. It is, without a doubt, one of the most unforgettable sights you will ever see. Now, let's talk about one of Iceland's most iconic and beloved residents, and whatever you do, don't call them ponies. They may be small, but they are most definitely horses, and Icelanders are very proud of them. The Icelandic horse is a unique breed, brought to the island by the very first Viking settlers over 1,000 years ago, and thanks to a law passed in 982 AD, yes, 982, that prohibits the importation of any other horses, the breed has remained pure for over a millennium. Once a horse leaves Iceland, it can never return. These horses are perfectly adapted to the rugged Icelandic terrain. They are sturdy, sure-footed, and have a thick, shaggy coat in winter that makes them look like adorable, fluffy rock stars. But what really sets them apart is their gait. Most horse breeds have 3 gaits: walk, trot, and canter. The Icelandic horse has 5. In addition to the basic 3, they have 2 extra, incredibly smooth gaits. One is the tolt, a 4-beat ambling gait that is so comfortable you can supposedly carry a full pint of beer without spilling a drop while riding. The 5th gait is the skade, or the flying pace. It's a fast, lateral gait used for racing, where the horse can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. It's an incredible sight to see, as the horse seems to float over the ground. These unique gaits, combined with their friendly and inquisitive nature, make them a joy to ride. Going for a ride on an Icelandic horse through a lava field or along a black sand beach is one of the most quintessential Icelandic experiences you can have. It's a way to connect with the landscape at a slower, more intimate pace. These horses are more than just animals in Iceland, they are part of the national identity. They feature in Norse mythology and the Icelandic sagas as treasured companions to gods and heroes. They were essential for travel and farm work for centuries, the only way to traverse the difficult landscape. Today, they are beloved companions and a source of immense national pride. They are a living link to the Viking Age, a symbol of Iceland's strength, resilience, and unique character. And honestly, they are just ridiculously cute. We've talked about the hot tubs, but where does all that lovely hot water come from? It comes from the very thing that makes Iceland so dramatic. It's volcanism. The country sits right on top of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a massive seam in the Earth's crust where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates are pulling apart. This means Iceland is one of the most geologically active places on the planet, with a huge amount of heat bubbling just below the surface. And Icelanders, being the clever and practical people they are, have figured out how to turn this into a massive advantage. Instead of seeing their volatile geology as just a threat, they've harnessed its power. Iceland is a world leader in geothermal energy. They drill deep into the ground to tap into reservoirs of naturally heated water and steam. This steam is then used to drive turbines that generate electricity, and the hot water is piped directly into towns and cities to heat homes, businesses, and, of course, all those wonderful swimming pools. It's a brilliantly simple and incredibly effective system. Thanks to this, nearly 90% of all homes in Iceland are heated with geothermal water. It's clean, it's reliable, and it's incredibly cheap. Imagine having almost no heating bill, even in the depths of an Arctic winter. This, combined with their use of hydropower from glacial rivers, means that almost 100% of Iceland's electricity comes from renewable sources. This makes it one of the greenest, most sustainable countries on Earth. They've turned their fiery, explosive homeland into a model of clean energy for the rest of the world. You can see the evidence of this everywhere. You'll see the steam rising from geothermal power plants, the network of pipes running over the landscape, and even geothermally heated greenhouses where they grow vegetables and fruit year-round. They even use it to heat pavements and car parks in Reykjavik to keep them free of ice and snow in the winter. It's a perfect example of Icelandic ingenuity, living in harmony with nature, not by fighting it, but by cleverly using the immense power it provides. It's a hot idea, in every sense of the word. Alright, let's get a little bit whimsical. In Iceland, the line between the visible world and the invisible one is beautifully, wonderfully blurred. A significant portion of the population, even today, will not deny the existence of elves, or huldufolk, which means hidden people. This isn't treated as a silly fairy tale, it's a deep-rooted part of the culture, a form of respect for nature, and the unseen forces that shape the land. The hidden people are said to live in enchanted rocks and hills, living lives parallel to humans. This belief has real-world consequences, particularly when it comes to construction. There are countless stories of road-building projects being rerouted or delayed to avoid disturbing a known elf, rock, or dwelling. Bulldozers have mysteriously broken down, and tools have vanished when workers have tried to move a sacred stone. Often, a seer or a medium will be brought in to negotiate with the elves and ask their permission to proceed. It may sound utterly bonkers to an outsider, but it's a practice born from a profound respect for the landscape and its folklore. These stories are passed down through generations, becoming part of the fabric of everyday life. Children grow up hearing tales of encounters with the huldufolk, stories that teach them to be mindful and respectful of their surroundings. You can even go to an elf school in Reykjavik to learn all about the different kinds of hidden people, from rock elves and cave dwarves to gnomes and fairies. It's a fascinating insight into the Icelandic psyche, which blends modern sophistication with ancient mythology. So, is it real? Do they really believe it? Well, it's complicated. For many, it's less about a literal belief in tiny people with pointy ears, and more about a cultural tradition that encourages a spiritual connection to nature. It's a way of saying that there are things in this world that are bigger and older than us, things that we don't fully understand and should not carelessly destroy. Whether you believe in them or not, the huldufolk serve as guardians of the Icelandic wilderness, and their stories add another layer of magic and mystery to this already enchanting land. Let's be honest, Icelandic cuisine has a bit of a reputation, and a lot of that reputation comes from one particular dish, hakarl, or fermented shark. Yes, you heard that right. It's a Greenland shark that has been buried to ferment and then hung to dry for several months. The smell has been described as being similar to ammonia-rich cleaning products, and the taste is an experience. It's often served in tiny cubes on a toothpick and chased with a shot of Brennivine, a potent local schnapps nicknamed Black Death. It's a rite of passage, really, but there is so much more to Icelandic food than just pungent shark. The true star of the dairy aisle is skyr. It's technically a soft cheese, but it's eaten like a thick creamy yogurt. It's high in protein, low in fat, and absolutely delicious. It's been a staple of the Icelandic diet for over 1,000 years, and it's now becoming popular all over the world. You can have it plain, with fruit, or in smoothies. It's wholesome, healthy, and a genuine taste of Iceland. Then there's the lamb. Icelandic sheep roam freely all summer, grazing on wild herbs and grasses in the highlands. This results in meat that is incredibly tender and flavorful, with a unique, almost gamey taste. A traditional Icelandic lamb soup, kjötsúpa, is the perfect comfort food on a cold day, a hearty broth filled with root vegetables and delicious chunks of lamb. And you can't talk about Icelandic food without mentioning their hot dogs or pelsur. There's a famous stand in Reykjavik, Bejarins Bezdu Pelsur, that people queue up for day and night. The secret is to order one with everything: raw onions, crispy fried onions, ketchup, a sweet brown mustard, and a creamy remoulade. From the freshest seafood caught in the cold Atlantic waters, to the rich, dark rye bread that's traditionally baked in the ground using geothermal heat, Icelandic cuisine is a reflection of the country itself, shaped by isolation, resourcefulness, and a deep connection to the land and sea. It's about making the most of what you have, and turning it into something unique and memorable. So be adventurous. Try the shark if you dare, but definitely don't leave without having the lamb soup and a hot dog with everything. Here is a fact that might just be the most unbelievable one of all, especially if you've ever tried to enjoy a summer evening anywhere else in the northern hemisphere. Iceland has no mosquitoes, none, zero, zilch. You can hike through marshlands, sit by a lake at dusk, or camp out under the midnight sun, and you will not get a single mosquito bite. It is a tiny slice of paradise that is almost impossible to comprehend. Just think of the sheer bliss. So, why is this magical, itch-free land so blessed? Scientists believe it's down to Iceland's unique and unstable climate. The mosquito life cycle just can't get a foothold here. For a mosquito to develop, the pupa needs to hatch in water after a period of frost, and then it needs a certain amount of time at a stable temperature to mature. In Iceland, the weather is just too unpredictable. You might get a sudden thaw, which would trigger the hatching, followed by another freeze, which would kill them all off. The Icelandic climate is basically the world's most effective bug zapper. This lack of mosquitoes makes enjoying the Icelandic summer even more pleasant. You can leave your windows open to enjoy the cool night air, without fear of being invaded by buzzing bloodsuckers. Picnics are peaceful, hikes are serene. It removes a layer of annoyance that we've all just come to accept as a normal part of summer. It's one of those small but glorious details that makes you fall in love with the country even more. Of course, Iceland isn't entirely free of biting insects. There are midges, particularly around some of the lakes, which can be a nuisance. But they are not as widespread or as relentless as mosquitoes. The absence of this one particular pest is a genuine marvel of nature. It's a quirky, wonderful fact that perfectly encapsulates Iceland, a country full of surprising and delightful contrasts, where even the things that are missing make it a more magical place to be. And there you have it, 15 facts that prove Iceland is less of a country and more of a grand, beautiful, and slightly eccentric fairy tale. From the practical romance of their dating apps to the communal warmth of their hot tubs, it's a place that does things its own way. A land where nature is still in charge, where myths feel real, and where the sun either never leaves or doesn't bother to show up at all. It truly is a world of its own, and we've only just scratched the surface of its wonders. We hope you've enjoyed this journey to the land of fire and ice, and for those of you who were particularly intrigued by the independent spirit of Icelandic women, we've got a little something extra for you. If you want to know how to connect, or make friends with Icelandic women on social media or dating apps, drop a comment with the number 8, and we'll share some fun tips just for you. Think of it as a little cultural guide to breaking the ice, if you'll pardon the pun. Before you go, let us know which fact surprised you the most in the comments below. Was it the elf-friendly road construction, the lack of mosquitoes, or the fact that you might share a hot tub with the president? We love hearing from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more amazing travel documentaries. Thanks for watching, and may your next adventure be as magical as a night under the northern lights.